So on Friday, we absolutely crushed it. We started off by buying SPY put options directly at market open for a 200% profit return. Once the SPY closed the gap, we noticed there was a bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmation at the gap for a gap close reversal. Uncle Tio was the first one to call out the play. We ended up making a 150% profit return on SPX call options. Once the SPY retested the gap level later into the day, G-Roar ended up calling out another play for a gap close reversal for a 200% profit return. I'm going to be breaking down the trades that we ended up making on Friday to absolutely crush it both ways. Top ticking the SPY, buying puts towards the exact lows in the morning, and then bottom ticking SPY later into the day, buying calls at the exact lows for back-to-back-to-back wins. With that being said, let's get straight into the new price action analysis for the SPY. So if you are serious about making money, make sure you listen up to this overall game plan. In terms of the SPY, we ended up closing at 604.21. In terms of where we are priced at right now, 604.82, stock market is attempting to have a small gap up. With that being said, I am seeing two patterns that can play out. In terms of the first overall pattern, this is what I want to bring awareness to. You can see right here, the SPY has this sharp move down. The SPY has this sharp move down. Next day, it ends up gapping up and it bottoms towards the previous pre-market lows. And then there's a massive breakout play towards the pre-market highs. So in terms of the first potential opportunity that I'm seeing is, I want you to keep an eye on the following levels for call options if we are gapping up heading into tomorrow. The first level is going to be the previous closing price, 604.21. The second level is going to be towards pre-market highs and break and retest resistance levels. So in terms of some break and retest resistance levels, you can see right here, we have resistance at 604.70, right? So if the SPY is breaking above that, drops back down, could react to support to continue to rise for a quick gap and go in the morning, right? In terms of the next breakout and retest level, it would be towards this resistance right here at 605.40. Those are going to be the two overall levels to be buying SPY call options for the break and retest if we are gapping up along with pre-market highs, right? So I gave you the resistance levels and I gave you the dip buying level, right? Now, in terms of another potential pattern that can play out, at some point, we can drop throughout the day. And it could potentially be in the morning where if SPY is a nice gap up, it could drop back down to fill the gap below. So just be aware of that. Use the bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmations. You're going to want to be identifying if there's strong floors and strong bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmations at the breakout and retest level and at the gap reversal level at 604.21, right? But in terms of another potential pattern that I'm seeing, in terms of the SPY, there's going to be opportunities for put options. In terms of the first level, it's going to be focused on resistance, right? So we have resistance right here at the gap towards 607.50, and then towards all-time highs, we're going to say this 608.60 to 609 zone. That's going to be the resistance zone. Those three levels where I'm going to be targeting put options. Now, in terms of puts, you're going to need strong bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmations, right? So that's what I have to say. In terms of if we are gapping up, we're going to be targeting calls at the 604.21. We're going to be using the break and retest, identifying if there's bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmations at the pre-market highs. If we're breaking out, retesting above that, looking for calls for a quick morning spike, right? And then, like I said, 604.60 to 605.40. And then in terms of puts, we have a gap that's waiting to fill above at 607.50. In terms of the SPY, it partially closed the gap. There was many red bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmations with lower highs heading into Friday, which is why we decided to do put options. So much resistance at the previous day highs, along with the partial gap close reversal, along with a breakdown of an hour of resistance, cracks, and then spikes back up to form lower highs with a red bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmation. Now, if the SPY gaps down, that's where it can potentially be a bearish move for the lower levels. So if we are gapping down, for the bears to take full control, we need to go below 603. If we go below 603, spike back up, react as a resistance level, we're going to be dropping to 601. If we crack 601, we could bounce first. That's key support that has not been tested right here in the pre-market. If it cracks that, drop back down, spike back up, forms lower highs. Next level we go to is to fill the gap, 598.80, along with this strong pre-market support towards 599.40, right? That'd be the best level for calls if we're gapping down and reacting bearish. So I explained to you what to focus on If we are gapping up, calls at the lower levels, puts at the higher levels. And if we're gapping down, it's going to be more put option focused. If you're seeing 603 react as a resistance, you're seeing 604 react as a resistance on a gap down, opening up lower than ideally like 603.50. It's going to be more of a put option opportunity to ride it back down to 599.60 to 509.80, and then buy calls at the gap with the gap reversal if you're seeing the bullish 30-minute confirmations. Those are going to be the 3 overall game plans that you're going to want to be using, right? So SPY gaps up, I told you, calls at the lower levels, puts at the higher levels. If SPY gaps down, puts at the lower levels. Use confirmations. Do not blindly trade based off of gap ups and gap downs and based off of levels. Trade the levels, trade the plan, use the 30-minute candlestick confirmations along with everything it is that you are using to confirm if the level is going to be bullish or bearish. I'm telling you, use this level, use the levels, use the game plan. You should absolutely crush it heading into tomorrow. Now, in terms of Friday, I'm going to quickly recap Friday, then I'm going to be signing off. So in terms of Friday, let's get straight into this, man. So in terms of the trades that we ended up making on Friday, I'm going to break this down for you here. So as you can see inside of Team Roar, you do get access to newly updated key levels with the new game plan in terms of the morning pre-market price action, right? And in terms of the first trade that we ended up making on the day, you can see right here, we ended up buying 605 SPY put options for 43 cents a contract at 9:31 a.m., right? We bought those puts directly at market open. Why puts? So in terms of the SPY, we did end up gapping up and we had just a slow uptrend, right? You can kind of see in terms of the pattern, if you looked at how we kind of trended up in the pre-market, it looks very similar to how we trended up here, very similar to how we trended up here, very similar to how we trended up here, very similar how we trended up here, very similar how we trended up here, right? In every single time last week when it formed that overall pattern, the SPY was selling off. Now, in terms of the overall levels, you can visually see right here, this is a previous support level, right? So in terms of support, you have some support right here at 607.64. Once the SPY cracked this support level, formed lower highs, reacted bearish, it quickly sold off to 604, quickly turning that previous support into resistance level. You can see right here, there was a gap that was waiting to fill above at 607.46. Once the SPY partially filled the gap, it began to form lower highs. It began to react as a resistance. If you studied the overall pre-market chart, you can see there was an hour's worth of resistance right here. And then the SPY started to drop below. And then it spiked back up, forming lower highs, turning that previous support right here into a resistance level with a red bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmation. There was absolutely no reason to be buying call options towards this overall resistance and previous support to react as a resistance for new lower highs with the partial gap close reversal. And along with just the overall recent trend, wherever it's been having those short-term spikes towards the market open, it tends to drop back down, especially towards this level. And then we have a gap that's waiting to fill below at 602.83. So the SPY gaps up and it's trying to come back down to fill the gap below, right? So when you're seeing all these red bearish, 30-minute candlestick confirmations at those higher levels, there's absolutely no reason to be buying call options. So that's why we did puts, and the puts quickly went up, 200% profit return. We absolutely crushed it on that overall trade. So again, there was just literally no confirmation to be buying calls for a gap and go at that level, because on the 30-minute chart, all the SPY was doing was forming resistance in red bearish 30-minute candlestick confirmations. If you look at this, there's literally no fucking reason to be in on call options, right? Now, in terms of when did we buy call options? You guys are well aware that the best level for call options was at the gap using the unique gap close reversal trading strategy, right? So we have previous resistance right here in the pre-market towards 603.50. SPY has a massive breakout above the resistance, drops back down. It could react to support, break and retest. It's also at a 602.80 gap. There was a gap to fill at 602.80 to potentially react as a reversal, right? And if you just studied the previous day's overall trend, the SPY dropped first, SPY drops first, and then at some point it had a massive spike recovery twice on the day. Very, very similar patterns. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disable extended hours, and I'm going to show you clearly in terms of how we played this overall chart, man, because this was the best setup at the absolute best price. I'm going to walk you through this. So the 605 puts for 43 cents, like I said, quickly made 200%. We did have an L on Tesla, but the big win was first, making losing a personal choice, right? And then in terms of the next trades, I'm going to walk you through this, man. So the next trade after that, Uncle Tio came in and he absolutely crushed it using the unique gap close reversal trading strategy that I've taught him. So in terms of this strategy, I've trained this strategy to thousands of students. We now have multimillionaires in the chat who are using it and alerting their trades in real time. So with that being said, in terms of this trade at 11:30 a.m., as you can see, 30-minute candlestick confirmation with the level with the gap close reversal trading strategy. Do you understand? I've taught this strategy to thousands of people. We now have multimillionaires in the chat who are alerting the strategy and the trades in real time. And they're going with the option strikes that are generating the biggest percentage gains with the cheapest, lowest price in the option contracts, the highest risk to reward ratio, lowest barrier to entry. So in terms of Uncle Tio, he's a multimillionaire, Forbes 30 under 30, Keaton win. He's an absolute amazing trader. With that being said, in terms of the trade that he ended up making, as you could see, as soon as the 30-minute candlestick closed and the new one opened up, just like I teach you guys, wait for the 30-minute candlesticks to close as confirmation. He ended up buying SPX 6060 calls, 165 cents a contract, right? As soon as he gets into the trade, he's literally up 25% at the speed of fucking light. That's the power of SPX. And the crazy thing is he's trading SPX this early. He's going super far out this fucking morning, man. We usually wait until like power hour to trade SPX. But Uncle Tio, he's the main one who trades it early in the morning, man. He goes super far out and it works for him, right? So in terms of this trade, quickly up 60%. These are the option quote prices moving in real fucking time, man. I'm telling you, this was the main play of the overall day. And then you're going to see G-Roar use the same exact strategy later into the day to buy it at the retest. We hit the gap close reversal trading strategy twice. Both multimillionaires in the chat called out the fucking play, man. So I'm going to walk you through this, man. So in terms of this overall trade, you guys are well aware that we set profit stops, right? So Uncle Tio absolutely crushed it, up over 120% on that trade in just 4 single minutes. A 120% profit return on SPX calls early in the morning using the gap close reversal trading strategy, all alerted out in real fucking time. So we ended up getting stopped out for a 115% profit return. Big shout out to Uncle Tio. He absolutely crushed it on that overall trade. So in terms of 11:30 a.m., where we bought those SPX calls, you're going to see 11:30 a.m. is when this 30-minute candlestick closed. So you see at the time 11 a.m., that's the opening of the 30-minute candlestick. So 30 minutes after the opening, 11:30 a.m., the chart, that's what it looked like. It closed green and bullish. The SPY was selling off, filling the gaps. It failed to have a reversal at 604.30. There was a gap to fill at 604.30. The SPY did not have a reversal at 604.30. I told you the gap close reversal level, the best one was the oversold one down here at 602.80. So we waited for the gap to fill, right? And once the gap filled and this previous resistance reacted to support, green bullish 30-minute candlestick right here, the SPY goes up. Green bullish 30-minute candlestick right here, the SPY goes up. So on the opening of this 30-minute candlestick, we noticed that the SPY closed the gap. It was extremely oversold, and this was the first green bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmation on the day, so we bought the fucking calls. Surely enough, the next 30 minutes was a massive spike to 605 almost. And then when the SPY even dropped back down to retest the gap, this is a bullish pattern as well. 2 green, 2 red, out the fucking gap, bullish. G-Roar came in and he called out fucking calls on that one as well. So we hit it fucking twice, man. Look at this. You're going to see later into the day, we use the same exact strategy to hit this fucking twice. Right here at 1:04 p.m. You see how a lot of the trades are at the opening of these 30-minute candlesticks, right? I told you, I have curriculum that works. There's multimillionaires who are using my curriculum. It's consistently working. It's consistently making money. We have money-making systems. We have educational systems that print money non-fucking stop. I gave you the game plan. I gave you the levels. But at the end of the day, the people who are going to trade these the best, the ones who created the curriculum, the fucking multimillionaires in the chat as well. They're all going to trade the fucking best, the ones who have the most fucking experience. Uncle Tio and fucking G-Roar have over a decade's experience along with me, man. You ain't going to see anybody else trading this curriculum better than us. So with that being said, 6050 SPX calls for 155 cents, right? So if you go to 1 p.m., This right here is the opening of that 30-minute candlestick. So as soon as this 30-minute candlestick closed red, why did we buy calls there? We bought calls there because this is an overall trend reversal pattern. 2 green up, 2 red down. If it's at the key fucking level, buy calls in the opening of the next 30 minutes. Those SPX calls quickly went from 155 all the way to 500 a contract, over a 230% profit return. You know, and that's the beauty of setting fucking profit stops, man. You can see right here, Uncle T on his trade, he got stopped out for 150%. If he didn't set the profit stop and he didn't sell the move, he would have lost all his fucking gains. SPX came crashing right back down. When it came crashing back down, the other multimillionaire in the chat called out the fucking play. And that play went up even fucking more. It was later into the day. SPY was more fucking decayed, and it had a bigger, quicker move. That one went up even fucking more. Do you understand? Losing is a personal fucking choice, man. So in terms of some tips to using the gap close reversal trading strategy, like I said, this is something I've created with my third eye in terms of how I view the fucking market. And I figured out one of the best confirmations you can use with these strategies is the 30-minute chart. That's what I found to be works the best from a technical view, you know, trading the chart, but using the 30-minute candlestick as a confirmation, right? If you just would have waited for the fucking first green 30-minute candlestick at the gap, you would have been in on calls. You would have been banking. And then right here, green 30-minute candlestick at the gap, it continued to go up fucking higher. And you got to recognize 30-minute candlestick patterns, right? But there was just no fucking reason to be buying calls earlier. It's at high resistance, and the 30-minute chart is just red and fucking bearish. Look, man, are you going to be buying fucking calls when SPY looks like this? Because I'm steering far away. If all we're doing is fucking slanting down red and bearish like that, there's no fucking reason for calls yet. And this right here, that's another trend reversal pattern. 3 slanted red, next 30 minutes could be bullish as well. That's another trend reversal confirmation where you could have bought towards the exact close instead of waiting for the first 30-minute green. But it's not as good as the green bullish 30-minute candlestick confirmation, but it could work. So anyways, man, in terms of some tips to using the gap strategy, there's a playlist below. It's the second link down below in the description. It's a gap trading playlist. It walks you through some of the basics. But in terms of like some tips to just walk you through this overall trade, this is what you're going to want to look for. You can see right here, SPY has a gap up at 604, and then it has a massive overreaction to the upside. A massive overreaction to the upside. It just keeps on fucking trending up. We're going from 604 all the way to 609, right? It trends up for a few days, and then a few days later, it trends right back the fuck down. And then you can see 30-minute green candlestick had a nice spike. Could have scalped calls on the next day on that opportunity, right? But what you're looking for is, you're looking for an overreaction to the upside. So right here, there was a gap at 603. We quickly went to 609, and then we sold off 6 points right back down 2 days later. That's what you want. You want SPY to gap up, and then you want it to just keep on fucking going up like a gap and go. And then you want it to lose all of its gains and quickly drop back down to fill the gap below, just as quickly as it took to gap up, right? So if we're gapping up and we're gapping going, we have a strong move to the upside, 1 day's worth of price action, 603 to 609, the sooner, the quicker we drop back down to fill that gap, the better. You want an overreaction to the upside, and then you want the SPY to quickly lose all of its gains. The quicker it loses those massive big gains, the better. You want big gains. You want a small gap up or a big gap up, and then you just want the SPY to keep on going up. It could be, you know, for 1 day, it could be for a couple days, but the point is, once it starts to top, once it starts to drop, once it starts to crash, you want it to lose all of its gains quicker than it took to gain the gains. If that occurs, there's a good chance, there's a good possibility that the SPY is going to have a reversal once it hits the gap. Overreaction to the upside, loss of gains, overreaction to the downside, just as quickly as it took to go back to fill that gap for a gap close reversal. And then in terms of one of the best confirmations, 30-minute candlestick pattern. 30-minute candlestick patterns. As soon as the 30-minute chart flipped green, we're in on calls, the call spiked massively. If we didn't set the profit stops and sell the move, we would have gave back all those fucking gains. And then we re-entered the trade, man. Who the fuck do you know bottom ticks SPY twice on Friday? Do you understand? These are the multimillionaires that I've trained. I told you. These fucking guys are killing it literally every single fucking day. It's absolutely amazing what they're doing with the gap close reversal trading strategy, man. They bought calls at the lows back to back using the fucking strategy, man. You ain't going to be able to outperform these people, man. I'm telling you, this is fucking amazing. So anyways, That's some tips and tricks I can give you. Wait for the gap to fill. Use the 30-minute candlestick confirmation. The best ones tend to be when the gaps are at key critical levels, right? So in terms of 603, is that a key critical level? Yes. The SPY bottomed at 60. The SPY bottomed. I mean, is this a key critical level? Yes. Look at this. Look at all the fucking support at 603. When the SPY bottoms at 603, it quickly goes to 609. So if we're going to gap up and then in 2 days lose all the fucking gains, don't buy calls at the higher gap. That's a more overbought level. Wait for the lower gap. Wait for the best setups at the best fucking prices. Wait for the 30-minute green bullish confirmation. Don't go buying fucking calls when we're in this downtrend with red bearish candlesticks at a higher fucking gap. Wait for the oversold gap. Wait for the best support levels. Wait for the 30-minute bullish candlestick confirmation, 30-minute bullish candlestick confirmation, 30-minute bullish candlestick confirmation, right? This is what you got to wait for, man. You can see this pattern right here, 3 slanted to the red, 2 up, 2 down, just so fucking similar, so fucking similar. Previous resistance, reactive support, dude, this was a free money play, man. We hit that twice. We absolutely crushed it, man. So look, if you're serious about making money, it's the first link down below within the description. You can start trading alongside us, man. You're going to gain access to a 0-day options trade alert system where we are printing money nonstop at the speed of fucking light. You're going to see this is the best trade you're ever going to gain access to within the stock market, and we have the highest win rate in the game doing this. In terms of some background to the 0-day options trade alert system that we've created, we are known for buying cheap, low risk, hard money option contracts. We're known for selling them deep in the money for the biggest percentage gains. We do not use stop losses. If you're going to join this group and use stop loss, you're in the wrong group. This is not the right group for you. Sometimes when we enter a trade, it drops 50, 60, 70, 80, 90%. What we're doing is we're putting in our entire max risk per trade as our entire position size. We're putting in less money, risking in less, holding the trade. If it's down 50, 60, 70, 80, 90%, we just hold it and then we sell it deep in the money. When we're green on a trade, we set profit stops to ensure that we don't go green to red, When we're green on a trade and we set that profit stop, we like to add to winners to increase the winnings, because when we're up a little bit, small amount for us, 5, 10, 20% gains, small gains, we make the biggest percentage gains. You know, over here, it's like 200%, 500%, 1,000% plays every single month, at least 3 of them where we're selling for over 1,000 fucking percent. If you have 1,000% win, you can have 18, 50% losses in a row and still be profitable in that situation, right? The win rate does not fucking matter. The percentage gains are going to make all the money work for you without putting in a lot of money. We add to winners to increase the winning, because when we're up a little bit, we tend to win big. When we're up like 5, 10, 20%, a lot of people sell. They take their small wins. They also size in heavily, risk a lot, and use stop losses. We do the complete opposite. We don't use stop losses. We size less. We hold trades to increase the winning. We sell in the money. We set profit stops to ensure that we don't go green to red. We move the profit stop up higher to ensure that we don't get back the bulk of our gains if the market has to move against it, right? Uncle Tio got stopped out for 115% profit return. He's moving the profit stop up higher, like he said within the overall chat. Do you understand? This is a 0-day options trade alert system. This is not your normal buy and sell alerts. This is a unique trading system that makes people money. That's what we have, man. And it's different. You're going to see we hold for big wins. And in terms of the main focus, like I said, the main focus is we just let the contracts expire worthless, go to zero. Whatever we put into the contracts is our max risk per trade, right? So if we lose on a trade, expect it to go to zero. When we win, trading the trend, we're right about the trend, vast majority of the time, we hold the fucking trade. At some point in the day, it goes in the money, we sell in the money. When we're green, we set profit stops to ensure we don't go green to red. Do you understand? We're doing the complete opposite of everyone else that you follow is doing. This is how we're able to win. Remove stop loss, risk less, let the holding, let the big wins, let the percentage gains do the work for you. Not your hard-earned dollars, right? These people risk so much, they size in so fucking big, they make such small gains and use stop losses, they ain't gonna make shit. They're gonna lose all their fucking money doing that small win shit. I'm telling you, you gotta win big percentage-wise, risk less, remove the stop loss, set the profit stops, green to red is a choice, move the profit stop up higher to ensure that you don't get back the bulk of your gains, sell the moves at key levels, leave some runners, sell in the money. We're playing a different game. The game we're playing is we're selling in the money, right? As long as that trade goes in the fucking money, we're going to be banking. We've been in trades. I showed you last week. We were in a trade. It didn't even go in the fucking money. Uncle Tio went 20 points out on SPX fucking calls. They went up 600%. They didn't even go in the money. The calls went up 600%. in 15 fucking minutes. We bought these calls at the exact fucking lows. That's the second time he's done that in the past month. It's like, dude, it doesn't even have to go in the fucking money, and they can go up 500, 600%. Wake the fuck up, man. I'm trying to put you guys on to the money-making game, man. You could trade alongside the students that I've trained. It's the first link down below within the description, man. So you're going to trade alongside us. You're going to start to learn how to trade by trading, because that's how anyone learns how to trade. They actually have to fucking trade, right? And we're creating systems that are not only educational systems, but money-making systems where you pay less for contracts, you risk less, right? The risk is so fucking low, you don't even need a fucking stop loss. These are the cheapest contracts with the biggest percentage gains. We have the highest win rate in the game doing this. We've removed the stop loss. This is what the best looks like. You come in here, you're going to say, dude, these guys are entering trades sometime. They're dropping 70 to 90%. If we just hold the fucking trades, they go in the money, they go up 100, 200%. And then when we're down a lot on a trade, and if we believe we're still right about the trend, instead of adding to the fucking loser, we buy another strike. And that second strike we buy, we're right about the trend, it tends to be at the exact fucking lows, and it goes up 1,000 fucking percent, man. We have a zero-day options train alert system that prints money nonstop. So we have tons of members. If you're serious about making money, it's the first link down below in the description. We have many members who've been subscribed with us month by month for over 13 plus months. We have tons of members, and I can assure you there's many members in here who are making $500 a day, $1,000 a day. Some of the members are making 5 figures a week. Some are making over 6 figures a month trading zero-day options without a stop loss, risking less, paying less, letting the holding, the duration of the time, and letting the percentage gains do all the fucking work for them, right? We trade the trend. We don't sell for fucking losses. We don't use fucking stop losses. Dead plays that drop 50 fucking percent, they can come back to life, go in the fucking money, go up multiple 100% profit returns. You're gonna see this is fucking game changing. We trade the trend, and we have the whole fucking day for that strike to go in the money, and we can make a fuck ton of money before that strike goes in the money, right? The trade doesn't even have to go in the fucking money. I told you, went up 600 fucking percent, and the trade didn't even reach in the money. It hit at the fucking money, and it happened in 20 fucking minutes. When you're buying SPX calls at the exact fucking lows, back to back, you're gonna see, man, the fucking gains are crazy. So we're outperforming every fucking trader you know of. We're outperforming them percentage-wise, win rate-wise. Every fucking thing is outperformance. You're gonna see. Finally, I joined this group. It's fucking real. Real traders who are giving out the best fucking trades, giving the best fucking performance within the market. You're gonna see, man, this is very fucking disruptive. If you were to compare this to any other fucking group out there, you're gonna see, dude, these guys are the best fucking trades in the fucking market. How the fuck are they doing this? And I'm literally showing you how the fuck we're doing it. These are the students that I've trained, and they're learning all the fucking trades in real fucking time. So it's the first link down below within the description. If you do want to trade alongside us and gain access to our zero-day option train alert system, you can start making money with us tomorrow. You can start printing with us at the speed of fucking light. It's the first link down below in the description if you would like to join us. With that being said, I'm going to be signing off.